Okay, so the glue's had time to dry, and we're going to get the weights off of here. It's looking really good. I have already pulled all the pins out, and I got this all ready to go for the next phase. And the next phase is our verticals. And I've been playing already, as you can see. This is vertical AV3, goes right in here. I have already started bending it and getting some crinkles in it. They say that this makes it look more like real rock, as well as making it fit. Of course, it's got to fit into this curve right here, so you know, getting a piece of straight material to fit into a curve, you got to bend it. So we're just going to put it up in there like that, and we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing. We're going to test fit everything before we make a final connection with it and glue it in permanent. That way we make sure that we're comfortable with everything that we're doing and that everything fits the way it's supposed to. It's a good thing I did it this way, because I got a place to put my hand in there to help hold that as well, which I won't have a little bit later. So get this one pinned in place like that. One more in this corner. Obviously, because of the curve, it's going to require more pins to hold it. All right, and I think I'm going to put one down here to hold this where I want it, with reference to maybe I need to do that from the inside. That's not going to work for me either. Alright, so one last try right here. There, I got it. Okay, that'll hold that in there. We'll be able to hide some of those marks. Okay, so there's AV3, all set in place and ready to be glued. So let's take the inside edge here. We're going to double check, our drawings to make sure we're in agreement, that we're doing everything exactly the way it's supposed to. And this is the A module, and there's AV3 right there, and so in this edge here is AV2. So that's the one we're going to pin in place now. This is AV2. Numbers on there. And again, so let's turn this guy around. No, I'm going to start on this side over here. Now, one of the things they said is on corners like this, where you've got to have a really sharp corner, you need to make a really sharp bend. And so what we're going to do is we're going to mark it where we want to make that bend. And the recommendation is that we do it on the end of a table. So we're going to do just that. Here's my mark. Just a shade. And we're going to bend it over there. And then we're going to bend it some more. This piece will come in right there, right snug up in there and around in there. Perfect. Just the way I need it to go. So let's do some more of this and bend it here. Just, oh, it sounds such fun. It's crackling. Sounds like I'm breaking it, but we're not, apparently. And different patterns there. That's kind of cool, isn't it? All right, let's set it back in here again. Set that up against there. Just like that. That's going to bend around to there. Looks like it's really going to be nice. All right, let's put a couple more pins in here. Okay, and then, whoops. Sometimes convincing this that it's going to cooperate takes an extra work or two. All right. Go. Now they did say that I can leave a little bit of a lip here, which just looks like that's what it's going to be. You can see the lip on there. This is not going to pick up anymore. I can leave a lip there, or I can shave it down and take it off. And we'll determine that when we get to the scenery stage and see if it would look better with it on or with it off. I can put grass along there, maybe some rocks. This is part of the railroad track, so there could be some rocks or something built up along there. So that gives me a couple extra options. So we'll just have to see what's going to happen when I get to that point. One of the other things that they've talked about doing, which I have been trying to do, hopefully successfully, and that's what they call welding. And welding is where you put in a real thick bead of glue all the way around edges like this and along here. We'll do it down here. Now the Elmer's glue, of course, dries clear. So once it dries, it won't leave a mark. But it helps to weld everything in place, hence the name. And finish up the product so it all seems nice and secure and solid like it should be. Alright, so you can see there, we got that one all pinned in place. I will be welding along that edge as well. And we'll go from there. Now then, let's see, let's do this guy next. This is AV4, and obviously I've been playing with this one a little bit here. And AV4 is going to go up here. This creates the ramp, which is going up over to pick up another section of track on the other end, over there on module, what will eventually be module B. Let's see how this is going to fit in here. I think that needs to go like that. Let me get a pin in right here to hold that in place. And I'm going to wrap around the front there. Pin it in right there. All right. And so this is just going to help lift that ramp up to the proper angle to meet. Actually, there's going to be a bridge because module B is going to be right here, so there'll be a bridge making that transition right there. And so that will help us to meet the bridge and make that transition the way it's supposed to be. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to exactly finish this edge off, so I'm going to do it just kind of like that right there. And again, we'll cover all that up with the glue when we come back over and weld it all in place. Okay. Right there. Really excited about this because this is the last part of module A. So I'll have all of that done And I can move on to B, which is the next progressive spot. The spot's so thin, it's going to be hard to pin, isn't it? Maybe right there. All right. 3 of the verticals. I've got one more. This is AV1. And it's going to come around here. It's going to start at this point and make its way around to the front here. And I believe, well, I'm not 100% sure. That's kind of high there. I think that comes around there. But we'll find out here in a minute. All right. So, sprinkle just a little bit of this here. Part of that is straight. Crinkling. Around there. So let me check this for a second. That's the right height there. Let me look at something and see if I've made a tactical error someplace. This says AV1. It doesn't look like it's 2 different pieces, but looking at this, and this is straight here, if I go there with that, bring this up here, now this is going to reach all the way over there. So that must be how it goes. I just didn't read the instructions right. So let me pin this in place. Nothing like learning on the fly, is there? Fortunately, I do have a fairly decent number. I forgot that I didn't bend this, sprinkle this. I do have a fairly decent number of these T-pins, compliments of my gorgeous wife, who uses them for a variety of different projects that she works on. Because as I get to the point, which I'm going to probably do next, or hopefully do next, to where I can do several modules at once, obviously I'm going to have a lot of T-pins in use, in play out here, as it were. Pull that back out. Let me see if I can do that here. This is being pushed in. Out a little bit. That looks better. I'll pin that down once I get to the gluing part. Alright. Come up around here. And again, I see this is just a tad high. Just a touch high, so I will probably sand that down some more. Probably is a better idea to have bent this better before I started pinning it up here. Come around here. You know what? They did say that a couple of these were a little long. So it may be that I need to trim, looks like I need to trim just a touch off of the end of this. We can do very easily. Now this is not the way they said to trim it. They actually said to use a pair of scissors. That's what's on the video. So we'll take a pair of scissors here real quick. Now that I've got it well marked. There we go. Right in there like it was supposed to. You might say like it was made to, huh? Okay. Some there. Some more. All right. So there's the verticals all pinned in place. And what I'll do now is I'm going to glue AV3 in right this minute so you can see how I do it, including the welding. And then I'll do the rest of it off camera. And then come back to you when I have it all done, when it's dried and everything. All right, so. That's a really tight fit. All right. I don't know if I have a lid on here. So we're going to put some glue along this forward edge here. Nice thing about this setup now is if the glue leaks, it's going to stay inside. Or maybe I should say when the glue leaks, it's going to stay on the inside there. I'm going to put a little bit along here to help with the adhesion, even though I am going to weld that down right there. All right. Put this back in place. Pins back in here again. This out just a touch. Push this forward just a touch here. There we go. All right, so I just mentioned welding. So what we're going to do is we're going to go along this bottom edge down here and put a really thick bead of glue right along here. And that helps to fill in the gap, helps to bind these two together. And we're going to do it down this edge. Turn that. And on this edge here. We're going to put a little bit, not quite as heavy, but a little bit along here. And I think I mentioned on the last video. Now that's got a little bit of a lip there, so we'll leave it like that. Of course, I've got a huge mess out here on the water. That'll sure mess with my boater and stuff, won't it? All right, so that's AV3 in place and welded in and all done. I'm going to finish the rest of this. We'll come back on the next video and look at the final product, and we will go from there.